Well, hello there, and welcome to this Pine Barrens, Pine Barrens walk and talk, I guess, again, here at Deer Park, Edgewood Preserve. These cute little seedlings growing here. Yeah, we're in that desert-like area in the south end here of the preserve. We're just taking a short walk. I'm a little under the weather, again, you know, so can't do too much walking. But, it is a nice day, so figured come here at least for a little bit. What a beautiful spot. Alright, let's continue on this nice trail. I gotta be careful though, because there could be some ice. Some ice from yesterday's little... We didn't really have any accumulating snow. It's not on the North Shore, but we had rain falling and temperatures were borderline freezing, so there's some scattered ice around. And it was below freezing today. It's going to try to make it to 33 degrees. Maybe some areas in South Jersey will get above freezing, but probably not Long Island. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm not catching the flu. I don't know. Just a scratchy throat. Like slightly scratchy throat, a little achy, and quite tired. But I've been taking a lot of vitamin zinc, vitamin C, vitamin E. Hopefully I can fight it off, because I do not want to get sick. Sorry from those bumps coughing last week in Hicksville. I'm not even going to go into that waiting room. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's like a walking infection room. I'm not going to go in there. Better to stand outside. Can't risk getting sick, because there's something in the air. I'm going to catch it. I'm always susceptible to that. You can see some of the ice here. See, there's the ice. Don't want to mess with that stuff. Yeah, it's a little muddy over here too, so it's some larger pitch pines here. Nice spot over here. Should be dry over here, so you shouldn't have to worry about any mud, hopefully. Or ice. Yeah, look at those great shapes. Ah, you gotta love this spot. Nothing but great shapes here. Oh, a little bit of puddle there. Let's walk around that. I don't fool around with ice, man. Yeah. Yes, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, that's all I'm up to today, because, I don't know, I'm fighting this bug off, I don't know. Had a little personal aggravation, earlier this week. Something with the post office got screwed up. I'm not going to get into it. Basically, they just weren't forwarding my mail properly since I moved. That's it. I don't really talk too much about personal stuff here anymore. But anyway, it's straightened out now, so. But anyway. Yeah, so check out, by the way, shout out to Andy, Randomness. He's been talking a lot, even more than me, about the transit problems that are ongoing across our entire area. So check out his channel. He talks a lot about the latest problems with the railroad, the subways, nice bus, all the transit problems. Ah, what a beautiful sight. How could you not love this? Just look at all those delicious shapes. Beautiful. They got some yucca plants here too, by the way. Yeah, you can see them now. I turn off the auto exposure on the camera because it's like if I'm taking a video like this, it tends to make the sky too bright, and I don't like that, so that's why I set it to manual. That's all. This is one of my favorite parts. It's actually the old power plant site of the, because this used to be a hospital, and this is the old power plant site. If you look closely, you can see that there's some bricks from it still left on the ground. Look at that. Just look at all that delicious scenery. That's all what it's all about. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Beautiful spot here. Beautiful. So many great shapes here. It's like, just love that. Those green pine needles, delicious. Doesn't get any greener than this, I'll tell you. Look at that, beautiful. Love this spot. Look at that. Alright, we're going into the denser forest now. We'll see how flooded it is over here. Yeah, I may walk through the north part. I think I might be up to it, so. It's just a beautiful day. Yeah, so a lot of problems with the transportation. One of the issues I wanted to talk about. You know, the continued behavior, bad behavior on the Babylon branch. I didn't address this. Matt Camper talked about this. He was on a Babylon train that was delayed over the weekend. It was delayed a half an hour. Why was it delayed a half an hour, you may ask? It was a train, I think it was 10:30 something out of Penn Station, PM. And it was delayed because everybody insisted on crowding into the front part of the train. So when the train stopped at Forest Hills, it was so crowded in the front, and because only the first 4 cars opened at Forest Hills, people couldn't get on the train. And a little snow love still. Wow. People couldn't get on the train at all. And so the train was held there for 30 minutes because they had to make everybody move back. Unbelievable. So the people on the Babylon branch are so entitled that they think they can just clog up the front of the train, delay it a half an hour. I've never heard of such a thing, honestly. It's just like the time when the video I took where they were getting off the train. The train, I was there that day. I saw that train pull out of the station, and it was only stopped there for like east of Belmont for like maybe 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And people already start getting off the train because they see it's not moving. And because of that, the service was suspended for a half an hour. I mean, not for a half an hour. The service was suspended for 2 hours. It messed up the whole Babylon branch. And I mean, that's ridiculous. You get off the train, literally you see these people in suits climbing down onto tracks that may be electrified. They didn't have to shut off the power. And why? Because the train just struck debris. It was just a piece of debris the train struck. It would have been underway in a half an hour if they didn't wind up self-evacuating. But they're so impatient. And that happens, a lot of them wind up waiting at the Belmont platform anyway for the service to resume. idiots. I'm sorry, but that just gets on my nerves. So that doesn't surprise me what Matt Campus saw. They're spoiled. They get the best service. They trash the service they get. They don't deserve the service they get. And if I was in charge of the Long Island Railroad, you better believe that I would cut their service drastically. So, because they get too much service, all right? Let's be honest here. While everybody's jammed up like sardines on the main line, these people on the Babylon branch, most of them don't even have to stand. So, a lot of them even get a seat next to themselves. I'm sorry, that's just not right. You know? I'm not saying all the Babylon trains are like that. Some of them are crowded, but I mean, there's... And what happens at Penn Station is... I'll explain it to you in a little bit here. There's some ice over here, I gotta pay attention. Hugh, what happened that night, and what Matt Campus saw, is that everybody just crowded into the front car. And part of the problem is the front part of Penn Station is where most of the people wait. You know, by the big sign. And so when they call the train, everybody just goes down to the front. Naturally. But the problem on his train was, instead of moving back where there's plenty of empty seats and where the train is usually empty, the snobs, they just stayed up front instead of moving back. Now, I mean, I experienced something similar in my train. When on the Huntington train, everybody went down, came out in the front. This was Sunday night, coming back from New Jersey. But the difference is that they moved back. Once the front cars got mostly full and all the seats taken, they just moved back. Like what normal human beings do. But the Babylon branch people, they're so little preppy, stuck-up little preps that, I'm sorry, but they are extremely preppy, decided to stay up front and refused to move back and caused the train to run a half an hour late. Only on the Babylon branch that happened, because the train wound up getting delayed a half an hour because of bad behavior. They're spoiled. And I'm sorry, one commenter said, oh, but you shouldn't wish bad things on them. Like, I don't wish bad things on anyone. But the folks on the main line have dealt with a lot of crap, and they don't misbehave like that, all right? So, you know what? People on the Babylon branch deserve a little bit of pain, too. All right? That's the way I feel about it. And Joe LaHoda saying he plans major shakeups for the Long Island Railroad, and I hope and pray. Now, LaHoda's a good guy. I like him. Hopefully he can start by getting rid of Patrick Nowakowski. Start some of the Babylon branch cutbacks that I've proposed, such as merging a lot of the flyers, all right? A lot of those flyers need to be merged, all right? The service needs to be reduced on the Babylon branch and increased on the main line, period. You put the service where it's needed, where it's most crowded. And the main line is the busiest part of the Long Island Railroad, not the Babylon branch. Yet Patrick Nowakowski thinks the Babylon branch is the main part of the railroad. That's his warped way of thinking. So, you know, and of course the people on the Babylon branch come post, oh, you're just jealous of us. Well, you know, you can't be with us. We can't be with us. We're the upper middle class bourgeois. You got to be white. You got to be working in the finance, the banking industry to be with us. I'm like, screw that, man. I don't want to be with you guys. That's the last thing I want. Your Babylon branch doesn't get me here, all right? So, right there is the drawback, all right? From Mineola, I can be here in a half an hour. Babylon branch can't do that. Babylon branch doesn't go to any pine barrens. Yeah, it's a beautiful, pure pitch pine forest over here. But yeah, Babylon branch doesn't go to any pine barrens. It doesn't take me where I like to go, so why would I want to be on it? But two, where would I be somewhere where when the next big hurricane's going to hit? Yeah, you think this guy's got it off easy. I mean, oh, we got hit hard during Sandy. Oh, Sandy wasn't the big one. No. Hurricane 38, that was a Cat 3, all right? The water would have gone up to Sunrise Highway. That would be the big one, and that would definitely mess up the Babylon branch for weeks, if not months. So, yeah, the line may be elevated, but the substations and all the power infrastructure ain't. So, that's drawback number 2 for the Babylon branch. Drawback number 3, it does take longer to get to the city. It's a greater distance, and there are more stops, at least if you don't get an express, like on the weekends. You know, I'm zone 4. Most of you guys in the Babylon branch are zone 7. So I got a lower fare to the city, and it's quicker. All right, so that's number 3. 3 good reasons why I don't want to be on the Babylon branch, and I'll leave it with reason number 4 as we try to figure out how to get around this ice puddle here. Why would I want to be around a bunch of hateful, bigoted, narrow-minded, snobby, preppy, nasty, mean people? You know, why would I want to be around that? These people have shown time and time again their hatred for people who are different than them. You know, and they can get violent about it. So I wouldn't want to be around that either. That's why. And lastly, I just want to say, look, not everybody in that area is bad. There are plenty of good people. I know that. Maybe it seems like I'm generalizing, but I'm just going by my experiences and from what I've seen, and what from some of my friends have experienced as well in that area. All right. I grew up in the northern part of Wansaw. All right. It was different back then. All right. Well, there's still a little bit of that element there, a little bit of that snobby element, but it's much worse now. You know, much worse. Much, much worse. And I wouldn't want any part of it. Oh yeah, and let me guess number 5 here. When the Babylon branch goes down, if you're east of Freeport, there's no bus that's going to take you to Jamaica. So, all you got is the N19, which runs rush hours only. So, there's some good reasons. So I'm not jealous. I don't want to live there. I don't ever want to live there again. All right? Make that clear. All right? I'm just talking about how unfair it is that they get preferential treatment when it comes to the trains, the public transportation. That's all. We're the main part of the island. The main line carries around Ronkonkoma, Port Jefferson, Oyster Bay. We're the main part of the island, all right? Babylon branch is the South Shore, all right? They are not the main part of the railroad. Even if they think they are not. Beautiful spot here. Yeah, you gotta get down in the dirt with these little guys, because they're very short. It's like dwarf pines over here. Love dwarf pines. Gotta love dwarf pines. It feels like you're in New Jersey over here. Just very dry and arid, like many areas in Jersey are. Yeah, I want to show you this. They put a new bike path in through this area, which is pretty cool. But it winds a lot. It's easier just to walk this way. Easier and faster. So it is a pure pitch pine area here. But yeah, we have to call out the people on the Babylon branch when we have to, because and their whole parking rules too, which is ridiculous. They won't let anyone. We're going to do a video about Long Island Railroad and where non-resident parking lots are, or free parking lots, and you'll see that most of them, as an example, here in this part of Suffolk County, the Deer Park parking lot here is free. It's no, you don't have to pay for it. It's free, completely free. But if you want to park in Babylon, well, most of the parking is for residents only, and they have another small pay parking lot, and that's it. So it's a way for them to keep outsiders out, which is a de facto discrimination. And when you take a look at the demographics of that Babylon area, it's also de facto racism. And, resident-only parking, all right, and it should be banned. It shouldn't be allowed, period. The parking should be a first-come, first-served thing, and you shouldn't have to pay for it. It should be first-come, first-serve, just like everywhere else. What makes these snobs think that they can just hog things to themselves? It just pisses me off. They don't want to share their transportation facilities. Yet the project to the whole elevation of the Babylon branch was paid for by the state of New York. So therefore, as I climb over this brush, therefore, it should be open to everybody, free of charge. Anyway, yeah, I want to take you to this beautiful spot here. Should feel a lot better now since I came here, believe it or not. I guess maybe I needed some fresh air, I don't know. It's like when I'm outside, I feel better. Look at these great shapes here, man. Get some little ones, too. And these pines here, you think, oh, they're seedlings. but they're actually older trees. Let's see if there's cones on this one, then you know it's not. Yes, this one's got cones on it. These are not seedlings. These pines are actually older than you think they are, and they are actually dwarf pines. So you don't necessarily have to go to the dwarf pine barrens to see dwarf pines. They occur in certain areas, and there's a great mystery behind. I want you to watch this video. I'll put it in the link here, right here in the video, about dwarf pines and why they only grow in certain areas. And it's very interesting. Like if you took the seeds from a dwarf pine and planted them outside of the dwarf pine area, they would just grow into a normal sized pine. So it's really interesting. But these are definitely dwarf pines here for sure. And those are full-size ones over there. See, it just overexposes the sky when I don't set it manual. I have it in auto. But I have to set it in auto because I want to show you something. That over there, and don't you see that flower looking thing? That's what you call earth star. It's like a fungus. It's similar to, you know, the Indian pipes that you'll see in the warmer seasons, the pine sap. A lot of colorful funguses out there. You know, your mushrooms too, of course. Mushrooms are the ones that people are most familiar with. There are others as well. Just look at this amazing scene here. Let me correct the exposure so it looks better. Yeah, it should look a little better. I just hate that the auto exposure like makes the sky too bright. You know, it's really blue like that. You know, something they need to work on. If Canon cares where they're watching this, but they probably don't. Maybe the newer ones are, well, this is one of the newer ones. Yeah, there's the bike trail here. We are going to, yeah, we'll go up on this bike trail. Here. A beautiful spot. These are like pits or whatever. I don't know what they are, but they're completely taken over by pitch pines, which is pretty amazing to think about it. That over here. Feel a lot better, actually. Amazing how going to the pine barrens can make you feel better. The only thing is it goes back in. I don't want to go back in. We're going to have to walk through this brush here. Like I said, those bike trails, they can meander and wind. I kind of prefer straight trails. Go this way. Yeah, it's a thick area of pitch pines here, but look what we have growing down here. So that's what's one thing that's interesting. Most people just miss this stuff. You got a little lichen variety here. If we look closely here, you see you have pixie cup lichen, but you also have, growing with it, British soldier lichen. And they're called British soldier lichen because of those little red hats that they got. You can see more over here. It's really nice stuff that grows. They always like these areas, these dry. Whenever there's a lot of decaying pine needles, you'll always see this stuff. Here you go, another example of pixie cup lichen. Right there. Pretty amazing. Yeah, it's another beautiful area of just pure pitch pine. This would look really nice if there was snow on the ground, but no snow. Not that I really am complaining, because it's much easier to walk without the snow. Well, the problem is, when we get snow, we wind up getting way too much of it. You know, I mean, it winds up being like way too much snow. There's some pretty large pitch pines in here too. This is very much like you'd see in New Jersey with these just pure pitch pine forests where you don't see anything else growing but pitch pines. I just want to find the path that I need. Yeah, I'm coming up to it now. All right, this one. Oh, it's just amazing. I mean, look at this. This looks like Jersey to me. In New Jersey, you get all these old pitch pines like those. Oh, got a little ice we're gonna have to contend with here. All right, we gotta be careful. I'm gonna roll, so if I fall, it'll be for your entertainment. I go real slow on ice. Don't go fast. comes to ice, I don't fool around. Alright? Alright, there we go. Yeah, some of this is the area that burned in the fires here. There were fires here about 10 years ago, whatever. Some really interesting looking pitch pines here, aren't there? Just like you're in Jersey. Beautiful spot. Alright, we're going to follow this trail here, and that's going to take us, we're going to cross over the power lines and then go into the other desert-like area. I wasn't sure if I was going to be up to walking this far, but I feel a lot better since I've gotten here. That's part of the reason why a lot of people have had, you know, back in the old days, when they had institutions, especially people with mental illness and the sick, you know, physically. Well, mental is technically physical. A lot of the places were in the pines, because the pines, they found, helped heal a lot of illnesses just being here. And for me, the experience is profound, you know. It just makes me feel so much better. Alright, so continue on here. Now before I leave, I gotta make sure I get some pine needle tea, which you can get. It's supposed to be good for the immune system. If you get sick a lot like me, you take the pine needles. I'll show you how to do it. You just take the pine needles from here, not too many from one spot, you know. And what you do is, I guess you take I guess enough to fit in one hand. And then what you do is you boil it at home. And there's a lot of vitamin C and tannins and things that'll help your immune system here. So, grab some pine needles. I'll make some pine needle tea at home for me later. Hopefully I can avoid getting sick. I don't want to get sick, and that's my other little gripe I have with people who are sick, and especially you people who are coughing, because coughing, it's one thing if you're not coughing, but if you're coughing, you're expelling a lot more germs into the air, and a lot of these people that are out here will just cough. Like, you know, people, you go in a public space, and it doesn't matter where it is, I've seen it everywhere, and people will just cough. They don't even cover their mouth. Technically you're supposed to cough into your elbow. They don't even do that. And they just cough with reckless abandon to people's health. They cough to, you know, and they make everyone sick because people breathe it in. And if you don't breathe it in, the droplets will land on surfaces, and you touch them. And if you touch part of yourself, part of your face or whatever, you're going to get sick. And it's just very inconsiderate. I understand you're sick, you can't always stay home, and I understand that. But at least take something for the cough. You know, if you can, take something for the cough, or cough into your elbow at the very least. Don't just go out in public coughing with reckless abandon, making everybody around you sick, or exposing everybody around you to germs. It's not only selfish and inconsiderate, but it's reckless, because there are a lot of people out there with weakened immune systems who will wind up possibly getting very sick from just catching a cold. And so, and there needs to be a better public health campaign about making people cover their cough or take something for the cough, like a cough drop or something. But you can't go out in public coughing with reckless abandon. Anyway, across the power lines here, Pilgrim is over there. And this is a place that's important, Pilgrim, and they want to, as I've talked about a million times already, they want to build this huge-ass development that is going to be called Heartland Town Square. It's going to be a mix of office, retail, apartments, which will all be luxury apartments. There won't be any affordable housing. Despite the fact that it was on the news yesterday that a lot, I think it's like 41% of millennials here on Long Island are living with their parents. They can't afford to live on their own because the housing's too expensive. And when they do wind up moving out, they're going to have to leave Long Island. And, you know, how is this development going to put a stop to that? It's not. They all think, oh, I'm putting a stop to it. No, you're not. You're just bringing more people. What's going on is you have more and more people from New York City coming out, moving away from the problems in Bill de Blasio's New York, and coming out here, taking over, and then trying to turn it into the city, and making it expensive like everything else, Manhattan-style rents and everything. So, I'm sorry if that, if I don't think that's a good thing, but I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's a bad thing, you know? And I think that we shouldn't be building any project here like that. This is not the place for it. This should be left alone, and the mental institutions should stay here for people who have serious psychological illness, who can't live on their own. They need somewhere to be, you know? Why is everything always about the rich and these young professionals and these, you know what I'm talking about. It's always about them. Beautiful spot. I love this spot. Definitely a little chilly today, but not as cold as it's been, you know. A little chilly. Not too bad. Ground's frozen though. It's kind of hard to walk on because you get all these ruts from all the tires. All the people who shouldn't be riding in here. They ride their ATVs. Though I think there should be some place for people legally to ride. It's another thing Long Island should have. Oh man, just look at this. Incredible. This spot, and so many spots in this place that it just will take your breath away. And I know maybe a lot of people, they don't see the beauty in a sandy desert-like area with nothing but pitch pines growing, but to me it's paradise. Just look at that. That's what I call paradise. This is my paradise right here. A little windier out here now. A little windier. That's a beautiful scene here. You got this carpet of sea beach heather here. There's two types of heather that grow in the pine barrens. It's usually either sea beach heather or pine barrens heather. Here in this spot we have sea beach heather. Beautiful spot, just beautiful. Beautiful carpet there, sea beach heather, and pitch pines. So, this is coming to the end of this walk. See, what else did I want to talk about here? Oh yeah, the plastic bag ban, which I'm heavily against here in Suffolk County. They've banned well, they haven't banned them, it's a tax. I should have corrected myself there. This plastic bag tax, which is utterly ridiculous. And what it is if you go to the supermarket here in Suffolk County and you want plastic bags with your food, you know, when you get your food to put them in, and it's not just the supermarket, it's any store, any retail store. It could be going to the mall and going to Macy's. You're going to have to pay a 5-cent fee for that plastic bag. And they claim it's to help the environment because plastic bags create a lot of litter. And yes, they do. But there's lots of other kinds of litter too. And I'm heavily against this ban because it goes right to the stores. It doesn't even go to the land preservation. Now, I'd be a little more supportive of it if it went toward land preservation, but it doesn't even do that. It goes right into the store's pocket. And so they want people to use, and this applies to paper bags too. It applies to any bag, not just plastic bags. And that's how you know it has nothing to do with getting rid of plastic bags, all right? Because why would it apply to paper bags too? That's the point. It's just another way of the governments here on Long Island trying to take away your rights, and along with trying to price you out off the island. You can't afford this fee. They obviously want you to bring a canvas reusable bag and just reuse it. The problem with those is that if you're getting foods that like meats and stuff, they need to be in plastic. It's not sanitary. So, yeah, I have a huge problem with this plastic bag ban, or shall I say tax, which is what it really is. It's just a tax. It has nothing to do with the environment. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. You gotta kind of kneel down for it. That means me kneeling down on the sand. That's okay. I'm not afraid to get dirty. Look at those shapes. Alright. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk to you for a few minutes. I'll set up the camera and I'll wrap up this video. Alright, I was just gonna talk to you for a few minutes. I don't know how this is gonna look. Probably not very good. Probably don't have the camera positioned properly, but hopefully the camera will stay up and it won't fall down. Yeah, I just shared some of my thoughts with you on certain things. It's gonna just be more Pine Barrens videos. I'm not, I'm slowing down what I do here, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not quitting. I would never quit, not at this point in my life, because there's just too many things that need to be talked about. We still have too many things going on, threats to our Pine Barrens, the inequality and the outrageous kinds of, discrimination that are being faced by many people. We still have the failure of all levels of government to do their job properly, it continues to need to be talked about. And Andy, I'm glad you're stepping up to the plate and making some videos about it. We need more of our fellow New Yorkers to make videos about it, and we all need to speak up about all these issues, whether it be the problems on the subways, the problems on the railroad, the threat to our Pine Barrens, the preferential treatment for certain groups of people, all that stuff. It needs to be talked about, and I'm going to continue to be that voice. Somebody has to, because the media isn't. All the media talks about is what Trump said about certain countries. Look, I don't care about what he said about certain countries. It may be the wrong thing to say, but we know the kind of mouth he has, all right? We know he's going to say things like that, all right? I'm disappointed on the fact he isn't doing what we elected him to do. He's turned out to be just the kind of elitist he campaigned. He said he wasn't going to be in his campaign. And I've said that a million times already. He's turned out to be just Wall Street loves him. The stock market is up at record highs. Wall Street, they are doing so well right now, and they're gonna all those Wall Street people on the Babylon branch, they are just going to be more and more obnoxious as time goes on, as they get more and more money. That's just the last thing I want to say. Money does not make a person, and I'm tired of people who act like it does. Just because they have money, it gives them the right to, treat people that are different than them inferiorly. It gives them the right to keep people from parking in their towns or even living in their towns. And I had to overcome a lot of adversity to get out of that hellhole town, Westbury. I'm so glad I did. Thank God I did. We all need to be treated fairly and equally, and judged by the content of our character, not by how much money we make, or what kind of car we drive, or what kind of career we do, whether it be working on Wall Street, whether it be being a doctor, whether it be being a forester or a police officer. We shouldn't be judged by our careers or our disabilities, or people like me who are unable to work due to illness. We shouldn't be judged by that. We should be judged by the content of our character. All right? And enough with the superficial things. We've gotten way too superficial. We need a lot more love in this world and a lot less discrimination and prejudice. And that's what we have a lot of. And the media continues to miss the point on it. And it will, because the media is out there to serve the elite interests, the same elite interests that our president is serving and that almost all the government is serving. All right? I'll just leave it at this, it's still difficult because it's hard to find this problem of discrimination and bad attitudes is prevalent among women today too as well. And I don't really want to bring this up too much, but it is prevalent. You know, I used to talk a lot about how women, I'm talking about petite women, my own height, small women, reject me just because I'm short. They want to be with tall guys. And it's the same thing. A lot of women today are judging men, and men do it too. I'm not saying not, but there's a lot of judging going on how much money you make or how tall you are. And yeah, I know the physical attraction there's some importance. You can't obviously be with somebody that you're not physically attracted to, and I understand that. You know, we all have a certain type of person that we, you know, are attracted to. However, I think, you know, it's important to, you know, the personality is just as important. And even if somebody looks nice, if their personality is not nice, then they're not good for you, you know. And that's the way I look at it. And I see a lot of attractive women here on Long Island, but a lot of them don't have the kind of personality that I'm attracted to. And they have that up-talk way of talking, you know, where they have this up-talk way, like, it's called up-talk. You can Google it, up-talk. It's like a Valley Girl accent. It's really annoying, you know, and a lot of women these days talk like that, and it's incredibly annoying. And it just sounds really snobby, you know. You know, so I'm just trying to find, you know, except most of the girls I look at are not. I look at mostly girls that are not white, or I look at girls that are, you know, usually other cultures, because they have a tendency to be a little more open-minded and maybe a little less into this whole image and money thing, you know. And hopefully I'll find my woman eventually. You know, it's hard being single. There are men out there that have no problem with being single. I'm not going to be one of those men. I'm going to keep looking for the woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Hopefully I'll be able to find her eventually, before I get too old. Anyway, that is it. So hopefully you get a chance to enjoy. This is the most beautiful place on earth. Nature's beauty created by God for us to enjoy. Let's treasure it. Take care.